Guys, welcome to my channel. And yes, it's been a while, and this is the long overdue video that I was meant to have done. Couple of that is people are waking up. That's why I've not been able to actually get anything done because I have to work with his timing, and sometimes his timings change. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learn a thing or two, and I hope it encourages somebody out there as well, which is the main purpose of me doing this video in the first place, just to encourage anybody out there that might be going through or went through or might go through what I went through, and just to give you faith. And yeah, I'm just going to be talking about things that I experienced, diagnoses that I went through, you know, low PAPPA, miscarriages, amniotic bands, and stuff like that. And yeah, I booked in for the 12 weeks appointment that we normally do, the 12 weeks scan. So I booked that in online as we normally do. So I just did that, and they give me an appointment for the 10th of February. So I went to the hospital on 10th of February. Yeah, they checked the baby was fine. However, before I went in, I keep telling my husband, I feel like this baby, I'm having twins, I'm having twins, I'm having twins. And then we got there, they were like, I asked them, is it twins? They were like, no, it's just one. I was like, oh, I keep thinking I'm having twins. And that's like, oh, that's fine. One is fine anyway. The next day, 11th of February, I was having morning sicknesses and I wasn't feeling great, so I didn't go to work. And my husband went to work. So I was like, in the afternoon, he didn't eat breakfast, which he doesn't normally do anyway. And I thought to myself, he didn't take any food to work. Let me just take lunch to my husband at work. And that's what I did. So I made lunch. I drove myself to his workplace, which is not that far from home. And as soon as I got to the workplace, I parked my car. I was coming out of the car. And as soon as I stepped my foot out of the car, I felt a massive gush of blood coming out. For me, I thought I peed myself. That's what it felt at first. I was like, oh, what's wrong with my bladder? How come I was not able to control myself and I did not feel like peeing? So how could I just pee myself just like that? And I looked down and it was blood. I was literally at my husband's office car park and it was blood. I did not feel any contractions. I did not feel any pain. I did not feel anything. It was just blood. I took one step. It was as if the blood was just gushing out uncontrollably. I couldn't hold my bladder. It was just gushing out, gushing out, gushing out. I was literally crying, like, what is going on? So I tried to manage to walk to the buzzer of his office. I go into the building. I called him to come downstairs. He came down. My jacket. I was wearing this overcoat. I'll try and get a picture of it and put it on here. And I was wearing that gray. Literally, it was filled up all the way. My clothes was filled with blood. My jeans was filled with blood. It was soaking wet and heavy. My husband came down and we called the ambulance. The ambulances were like, where's the office? They're trying to find the I was trying to explain to them where it is and stuff like that. One of my husband's staff came downstairs with a chair for me to sit down. When I sat down on the chair, I felt like I was sitting down on water because I was sitting down on blood. And we were able to we left. The ambulance did not come because they were saying they couldn't find the place and stuff like that. So we just drove to A&E. And when I got to A&E, literally, I don't understand what is going on. Literally, people can see me. I was soaked in blood. It's not like it can't be seen. I was soaked in blood all the way up to the waist of my overall coat, and literally nobody was trying to attend to me. I was bleeding. I was almost crying. My husband was literally, you can see in his face, he was almost crying, and nobody was helping us. Nobody was trying to get to us to help. And he literally went and be like, my wife is bleeding, you know, can't you get somebody to help? And we now saw this black guy. As soon as he saw me, he literally rushed, brought a chair down, made me sit down, took me to one of the rooms straight away in A&E, and she was not trying to call the Stanway ward, the early pregnancy unit ward, and they're trying to get them to see me, and they were taking long, and the guy was literally saying she could be anemic. Like if I'm anemic and I've lost so much blood, my blood pressure was high, my heart rate was high, literally everything was just on the high. They took me in, and the lady told me to take off my clothes. I did. They gave me one of the, you know, the stuff that they wear in the hospital, the robes. So I put it on. She told me, have I checked down there already? I said, I haven't checked down there already. So I don't know what it looks like, you know, down there. And she told me to check, take everything off and then check. So when I took off, I'm just getting a bit emotional. When I took off the clothes, and I took off the clothes, and I checked down there, and there was this massive lump of tissue. I was only 11 weeks pregnant, or 12 weeks, let's say. There was this massive lump of tissue that was in my underwear, and massive blood clots. This, when I say massive blood clots, are like apple, size of an apple. They were all literally, as soon as I took everything off, it was as if the blood was gushing out. And I took the tissue out, and myself and my husband knew that was the baby. You know, I took the tissue out and showed the lady, and the lady did not say anything. She just saw it. Her expression changed. My husband was looking at me, trying to, you know, calm me down. The lady took it, put it in the bin, and yeah, I knew the baby's gone. And I think my husband called my mom. My mom was speaking to me on the phone. My mom was saying to me not to worry, not to cry, like everything's gonna be fine, stuff like that. And it was a bit emotional, like, and then they literally wheeled me to a early pregnancy unit where I saw a doctor, and I was still bleeding. They gave me another pad to wear, the maternity big pads, and then I was wearing that. I was bleeding all through, and the doctor literally diagnosed me, which he said, I thought he told me everything that happened, the tissue, the lumps, and literally said possible miscarriage right there. Possible miscarriage was the diagnosis that he gave me. But then he now said I should come back the next day for a proper scan, well, a proper checkup, so they can check me internally and try and bring out whatever is left of the baby inside. And myself and my husband knew that was it. After we had our scan, for the 12-week scan, and we put a video up here. That's my husband. It was so happy, it was so emotional, it was almost crying. As you can see, it's like we get to see the baby for the first time, you know. It's becoming real to us that we actually having a baby. So, and then for that to not happen the next day, it was a big change. So I gave an appointment on the 12th of February to come back on Wednesday. So the next day, which is the next day, basically. So on the Wednesday, I was gonna go out because the bleeding has stopped, everything has stopped. I was gonna go out to London to my parents, and Franklin was gonna go to London as well, but we're gonna go differently. So I'm driving myself, he's driving himself. And as soon as we left the house, literally there's a roundabout very close to where we stay, and as soon as I got to that roundabout, I felt another gush of blood that just gushed out inside of me, and yeah, I was like, what the hell is going on? Called my husband. I was like, I'm going back home, I'm bleeding. I literally went back on roundabout, came back home. I ran into the house because the blood was literally pouring out. Literally ran into the toilet downstairs, and I was literally pouring out blood inside the toilet. The toilet was full with blood. The floor in the toilet was literally blood everywhere. I was literally just pouring out blood, pouring out blood. The clots were like dropping, like boom, 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 inside the toilet seat. And sorry, this. And we called the ambulance again that day, and the ambulance couldn't find the address because it's a new build. So they were like, oh, the postcode is not coming up. We're trying to tell them where it is. We just literally felt like, hospital is only 15 minutes away. Let's drive ourselves there. See me, they took me in. They checked and they did an internal examination, and yeah, so the doctor now pulled out the tissue and he said to me, "I'm sorry." That's when he finally said, "I've lost the baby." He said, "I'm sorry, you have lost the baby, that this is a leftover tissue from yesterday, from the lump that I passed out yesterday, and it's a pregnancy tissue, that they can see that I've had a miscarriage, and they are really sorry." And right there, because they have finally give you the fact, because the day before was possible miscarriage, even though myself and my husband already have it in our mind that we've lost the baby, and for them to now actually confirm it, it's a different feeling. You get something different from that, like you have lost the baby. So it felt like I feel like I've known the baby already, and for them to now said I've lost the baby, even though it was just a very short period of time, it still did me. I was crying on the bed. They were trying to comfort me, saying they're really sorry. My husband was trying to be strong. He was trying to be brave. He wasn't trying to show his emotions, so I don't feel it. And I said to them, but I came in for a scan on Monday, my 11-week scan, and the baby was there. So how come I've lost the baby now? And they were like, yeah, because they really, it's the tissue that I passed yesterday, and this is the leftover that was inside. I told them, can they check again? I don't mind if they can do another scan, ultrasound for me to check if the baby is still there. So the guy said it doesn't hurt checking. So we went into the room for the ultrasound, and when he checked, they found a heartbeat. They found a heartbeat of a baby, and I was so happy. I was crying and happy. They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. They were like, yeah, there's an heartbeat, but I lost the baby. So the woman that was the nurse that was next to me said it's a miracle. She now told me, oh, she had a baby premature 22 years ago, and the baby is fine. Now, like anything can happen, no matter what the doctor are saying, anything can happen. And they now placed me on a month bed rest from there. They told me not to do anything, carry anything heavy, you know, just rest, relax, stay on bed, do nothing. So from then, I literally stopped working. I didn't do anything. I don't do, apart from go to church on Sunday, which I started going to choir practice. I just literally stay at the back of the church, don't do much, just, trying to just keep myself less busy as much as I can. And yeah, that's the story of, that's the start of the journey. Because it wasn't just that happened to Zion, it was a lot more. And even though if it was twins, even though we might have lost one, there was still Zion. It was beautiful. It was good to know that, you know. And if it was just one that was there, I don't know how to explain it. The Zion was still alive, and they took out baby tissue out of me. So I have no idea how that could have happened. And that's if it was just one. And if it was twins, we lost one. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying my story so far. So that's part one of my pregnancy journey video, guys. So I hope you guys are gonna come back a couple of days time for the part two of the story, which is where it was diagnosed with low PAPPA and amniotic bands. So yeah, I can't finish this video right now. I hope you guys come back tomorrow for that, or a couple of days. Let me just not say tomorrow, just in case I don't get it done. But yeah, thanks so much, guys, for watching and listening to my journey. I hope this is going to encourage somebody out there to know that all hope is not lost, no matter what's happened and no matter what the doctor has diagnosed you. with, or even if you went through bleeding or anything like that. Because as you can see, mine ended in praise, and I'm sure yours will too. So yeah, continue watching, guys, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I cannot wait for my subscribe number to literally start going up, literally. But yeah, thanks guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we love you. Bye bye.